We're talking about an extraordinary camp for some extraordinary kids. All of the kids in this camp are grieving the death of a loved one. Will Shields, who is Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Kansas City Chief, has joined forces with St. Luke's Hospice for the Willpower Healing in Motion. Melissa Edmond is grief coordinator with St. Luke's Hospice, and she also joins us today. It's great to have you, Will. It's nice to see you here.
Thanks for having us.
So what do you think about those Kansas City Chiefs? Got to get that out of the way.
Playing well.
I know.
I had a good time sitting in the stands critiquing them yesterday.
Oh, you did.
But they played well. They did a
sure
good job.
did.
You're a little nervous to start, because you hear about Baltimore and how they play and everything else. We know how they play in history.
I was nervous.
But Mahomes and them, those guys didn't flinch. They
I
played
love
well.
it. I love it. Well, thank you for that. Now, let's talk about your new effort, which is helping kids who are grieving. How did you get involved in this?
Well, I always want to be a part of kids. Kids' life is always important. So, you have to go mental awareness as well as health and wellness. And one thing is when you lose a loved one, how do you grieve? How do you get over it? How do you move forward? Even though you never get over it, you still have that feeling in your heart and different things. But how do you handle those emotions and how do you express it? So we were thinking that we could take kids, take them to a fun environment, and interwove both things, the art of playing and having a good time, as well as being able to talk about different things that they're going through their emotions and everything else, and sort of interweave them together and make it grow. So I had a guy that was coming through, and he was using different parts of the facility. He goes, "Hey, Will, have you ever thought about going to the hospice and talking to kids and spending time with families and different things of that nature?" And he does it on a regular basis. And I was like, "Sure, I'll come through and take a tour and see what happens." And then from there, that's where this blossomed from.
Oh my gosh! So the camp was born. Tell us more about how St. Luke's is involved and what you're going to be pouring into those kids.
St. Luke's Home and Hospice just given us a great opportunity to reach what we feel is an underserved population, and that is grieving children. And we want to provide healthy ways for kids to process their grief and to be able to speak their grief and let out those big feelings. So when we say grief camp, we want everyone to know that this is not going to be a bummer camp. This is going to be a day of fun and activity. But you know what? We're not afraid to talk about those big feelings. We're not afraid to talk about the fact that the common thread is all these kids have lost someone that they love very much.
So as people are listening right now, and what would you say to kids? We're talking about kids that are what, 6 to 18?
6 to 18, all different backgrounds, all different school systems, and I might plug too that most schools are out that day.
Oh, good.
So we were smart with our timing, and even so, if your kids do have school that day, we'd encourage you to come and let your kids.
But what would you say to those kids? Something that you could just kind of a nugget that you can give them to give them some hope and strength.
Come and be fearless that day, and you'll be able to look around the room and see other children, other teens that do know how you feel, and they have been in your shoes. And there'll be lots of positive role models there, lots of loving adults. There'll be some great athletes, even better men that'll come and share from their hearts. And Casey Wolf's going to be there, and we're going to have great lunch, and really invite all the kids to come that need to be there.
All right, so when and where? Let's get everybody there.
We are the 18th of October, and it'll be at 68 Inside Sports, and we'll be hosting it. Starts at 8 in the morning and goes to 3. Somewhere around there. I think it's 8 to 3 or 9 to 3.
That's perfect.
And it's a good camp. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope that everybody comes out and enjoys.
We always appreciate everything that both of you are doing now for these grieving kids, and what you've always done in your life for kids of all ages, for the sports health and physical health, and also now mental health.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.